Hello guys, welcome to Afoi TV. This is Ekuya. Today I'm going to give you interview progress update from Freetown, Sierra Leone. Guys, please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Those of you who have subscribed, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for your support of the Afoi TV platform. But we're going to look at the interview progress update for the DV2023 and those who are going for interview in Freetown, Sierra Leone. All right. In the beginning of the fiscal year for the 2023, between October to December, 43 cases were scheduled, 38 in the month of January, 73 in February, 139 in March, and then 67 in April. Those were the cases that were scheduled, that have been scheduled so far. So from the beginning of the fiscal year, which was October 1st last year, like October 2022, up to date. So this is the number of cases that have been scheduled, and this is quite impressive if you compare this to the ones from Liberia, the ones from Ghana. Now let's look at the breakdown. So far, 145 people have been issued their visa, 8 people have been placed in administrative processing, 465 show their status to be ready, and then 20 people have been refused, and then 30 people have been refused under 2201G. All right, guys, know that the ready that ready number is always like a mixture of different groups of people. I know that some of the ready people are people who may never get approved because they are on cases where the principal applicant have been refused. So it could be people whose cases have been partially approved. Basically, the visas have been partially issued and so on. So for the ready is just a mixture of different situations. All right. But that is the breakdown for the number of visas that have been issued in the U.S. Embassy in Freetown, Sierra Leone. Now, if you're looking at the number of cases that have been, issued, those in AP, ready, and refused, the number of visas that have been, cases that have been issued their visa. So it could be that a case that has all the applicants that have been issued, and then or cases where there's partial issuance. Okay, so any case that has an issued visa on it. So there's a total of 91. 6 cases are in AP, 219 are ready, and then 19 are refused, and 25 are refused under 22(1)G. All right, so some of these numbers will be like a duplicate and a different status. Like I said, so like a case could have one of the applicants issued and then the rest are on ready. So they will be counted for in ready and then be counted for in issued. All right, so I hope you get, the basic explanation. Now we'll go on to the cases where all the applicants on that particular application were issued their visa. All the applicants on that particular case were put in AP. All the applicants on that case are shown to be ready. All the applicants on that case are shown to be refused. And then all the applicants on this particular case are shown to be under 22(1)G. So for that, issued will be 81 cases where all the applicants are issued. 4 cases where all the applicants are in AP. 217 cases where all the applicants on that particular cases were shown to be ready. And then 8 cases where all the applicants were refused. And then 11 cases where all the applicants were shown to be refused under 22(1)G. Okay. So this one does not include, those partial status where sometimes somebody has been, and a main applicant has been approved, but then derivatives have not been, issued and that kind of stuff. But this is just purely cases where it is all in or all out. All right. Now, if you look at the cases that were all in, basically all the applicants on those particular cases have the same status. If you're looking at the actual numbers behind those, the number of visas that were issued for people on the application where all of them got their visas there so far 132. The cases where all of the applicants were put in AP, the number of people affected are 5. The cases where all the people are under ready, and then when you count the number of people, will be 407. And then in cases where all the applicants are refused, there will be 8 people. And then for cases where all the applicants were refused on 21G, it affected 11 people. All right. So like I said, always the status for ready is going to be, weird, because, sometimes when somebody has been refused, their families will still be shown as ready. Okay, so and we know that kind of ready, those people will not get their visas, because if the principal applicant has been refused, then obviously those people, their derivatives are not getting their visas. But this data here does not account for that. All right, so now guys, I hope you are seeing the pattern here. Now we are looking at cases where they are partial status. So what I call partial status would be that it could be that some of the people on that particular case got their visa, some didn't get their visa. Some of the people on the case are in AP, but some of them are not. Some of the people on that case are shown to be ready, but some of them are not. Some of them were, refused, and then some of them are not. So it's just a partial, it's like a mixture. One case may have people under different status. Okay, so far 41 cases have partial issuance. It means that 41 cases, some of the people were issued their visa, some of the people were not issued. There are 2 cases where some of the people were put in AP, and then the other half were not put in AP. And then 2 cases where some of the applicants are, either refused or issued, or refused on 21G, but then the rest are shown and they're ready. And then there were 11 cases where, they have this partial status, where 11 cases where some people may have different status, and then they will have the refuse also. And then there are 14 cases where people have partial status, which will be 21G and then others. Now the highest case number that has been scheduled at that embassy will be 63K from Africa, and then the lowest case number that has been attended to in Freetown will be 11. All right. So looking at the highest case number that has been attended to, it looks like people who have higher case number in the U.S. Embassy in Freetown, they have a good chance of getting interview. All right. So guys, if you have a higher case number, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to get the interview, but it depends on where you are at, right? As we have seen in other videos that I've talked about these things, there are some countries, let me give you an example, like the US Embassy in Accra, Ghana, they haven't got to 24K yet, but Freetown, Sierra Leone has got to 63,000, right? So that means that you getting a higher case number does not really mean that you are doomed. It's all a matter of where you're going for your interview, and then also how early you submit your DS260. So guys, that is all for the Freetown interview progress update. But guys, those of you who are still waiting for your interviews, this embassy reaches out to people and ask them to send their documents before the interview. So some people are getting emails where the embassy ask them to submit their school certificates, their marriage certificate, for them to process it before your actual interview day. So make sure that you're checking your inbox before your interview day, in case you get such an email. It is legitimate. But good luck to all of you who are still waiting for your interview. Subscribe. I love you guys, and God be with you. I'll see you on my next video. Bye bye.